Hello and welcome to another episode of Crazy Stories from Comedians. I'm your host, Jer D. Welcome to Raccoon TV. My guest today, Josh Florhaug.
Yes, you said it right, which many people don't do. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, a lot of people, why do you think I go by D? Nobody can get my last name.
I go by it, and then it's Florhaug, and nobody wants to say that, so I just let them come up with their way, and then I'm like, no, it's the way you didn't want to say it. That's what I usually go with.
I like how we combined a floor and a hog, and we just get your name.
Yep, that's the way I have to describe it to everybody, every host, multiple times a week. It's so fun.
Yeah. So you told me you have a story today about your health.
Yeah. I almost died doing comedy once, or 3 times, depending on how you look at it.
So you almost sacrificed your life for the good of comedy?
I mean, good of it or okay of it, however we want to put it. Whatever I think I'm doing up there. Yeah. Here's what happened. So we got to go back a couple months. Not from now, but from then. This happened about 4 years ago.
Okay.
So
you
guys,
go back about
spoiler
4
alert,
years.
I live. So 4 years ago, I got a hemorrhoid surgery because I have the body of an old person.
I was about to say, isn't that like an old lady thing?
It's an old person and pregnant woman thing. I was neither old nor pregnant, but I got them because
You weren't pregnant? You could have fooled me.
I just been eating a lot of cake. I have great genes, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
Family passed on an old person body. So I had a hemorrhoid surgery. Right before the surgery, we had to run a bunch of blood panels. Those came back kind of shaky, but the surgeon was pretty confident, so went on with the surgery.
He was like, it looks dicey, but I think we're all right.
Yeah, basically he was like, this isn't going to be the most ideal, but it's a day of work.
He was just like, we're just going to roll the dice on this one.
He said, I think I can handle it.
Okay.
Is I think the direct words he used, which I was like, all right.
So basically you got the doctor who, from the Geico commercial, or whatever that is.
Yeah, that says, this is going to maybe go okay.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, good enough.
Yeah, he was definitely, we had a good enough surgery. We all walked out of it. I went home. I was on bed rest for 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah, you're laid up for so long with that surgery.
You sure you weren't pregnant?
The hemorrhoid surgery is super bad. You should ask anybody about it. It's so painful. But through that, the blood thing, we found out an iron deficiency. I was taking iron. But after I was back on my feet, I wasn't feeling well and I was very weak. And I kind of chalked it up to being on bed rest. I'm like, oh, I lost a lot of muscle, things like that.
Yeah.
I went back and got my stuff checked. I'm like, hey, I'm still kind of bleeding and things like that. And they're like, you'll be fine.
Where were you bleeding from?
My butt.
I assume.
Do you know where hemorrhoids are, Jer?
I do. I just.
Wouldn't it be weird if it was my hand? If I was like, I kept bleeding from my hand. I don't think this doctor knew.
I think that'd be like a whole different set of problems.
Yeah, it would. So, still having blood, still kept getting weaker, and then I'm very ghostly white, as you guys can see. It got worse. I just kept chalking it up to I'm going to be fine.
So did you look like that character from the movie? What was it?
Powder? Yes. Looked like a more out of shape him. Remember when he was all skinny?
Yeah.
And they could show him without a shirt on? They would have made me wear a shirt.
Yeah.
They'd be like, this lightning scene, what if you wore like a baggy sweater? So I get booked to work the Laugh Factory in Coronado, San Diego, the little island off of San Diego.
Is this when you were living in Minnesota?
Minnesota, yeah.
How did you manage that?
I opened regularly for Louis Anderson. So he called me. He wanted me to host.
Okay.
I was like, okay, cool. I'm so excited. This is a big deal.
Yeah.
I talked to my grandma and everything. I'm still very weak, still very ghostly white. She's like, I think you should get your blood ran again. I think you should get the iron infusion. And I was like, I think I'm going to be fine. And she's like, I don't think so. So against my better judgment, I stopped at the doctor the day before I'm supposed to fly out, just to get my blood ran. It's a
good time to take care of that.
Yeah, it's a Wednesday. I'm like, we'll get this done. We'll get the infusion done on a Monday. I'll go do the shows. Everything will be fine.
I'll pick up the groceries on the way home.
Yeah, I had to pack. Here's how I knew something wasn't right. Got my blood ran, went home. I rented the movie Unfinished Business, starring Vince Vaughn and Danny Franco.
Okay.
I was packing, very weak. I was getting sleepy while packing. And
You were like, this is really tiring.
yeah, watching the movie, and then I got emotional during the movie. Not an Oscar movie, in case you guys are wondering. Cried a little during that movie. Was probably like, this is all not because I'm dying.
I'm having a harder and harder time believing you weren't pregnant. The more
yeah.
I hear this.
Surprisingly not. Got a call from the hospital right after a nap from packing saying, hey, you need to come here right away. We got your blood results. They're not looking great. Your blood is so bad and your iron's so low that we're scared you're going to stroke out if you drive here. I'm 15 minutes from the biggest hospital in Minnesota.
Oh.
That's where they want to send me. I'm like, it's 15 minutes. I can walk there. They're like, don't walk here. We're sending you an ambulance. I had to talk my last roommate into driving me. I went down, knocked on I lived with my cousin at the time and his friend. Knocked on his door. He's like, oh man, I'm doing a face mask. He's wearing a charcoal face mask. He's like,
what?
I have to keep this on for like 30 minutes.
What kind of men are you making in that family?
Who doesn't do face masks? That's why your face looks like that. Men with young faces.
You don't have a young face. What are you talking about?
It got destroyed because the iron. I used to look great. But so I get driven to the hospital by my cousin's friend who also lives there because he's not doing a face mask. Get driven to the hospital. They're like, we got to do emergency surgery right now. I'm like, hey guys, I have this very important show. Can we do the surgery and then get me out by 9 a.m. tomorrow morning? And the doctor's like, no, you're going to be here for at least a week.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I got the show.
You were like, but my show
It's
is
very
tomorrow.
important. And he was like, no, it's not. Your life is. I'm a doctor. I took an oath. And I was like, yeah, but what if we did it like later?
Can you save my life next week, maybe?
That's what I tried to talk him into. He wasn't having it, believe it or not. He was not into chasing your dreams.
Go wonder.
I know. He didn't get it. I was like, I'm chasing my dreams. He's like, your dream should be to be alive. And I was like, no.
I will say this on his side. It is much easier to chase your dreams being alive.
You know what? Everybody's on his side. The more times I tell people this story, I assume that people are going to be on my side. Very few people are.
No.
If you know anything about hemoglobin, people watching at home, my hemoglobin was 4.1.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay, your
you were
hemoglobin
wrong.
right now is 13 to 17. Anything under 8, you need like an infusion. They need to like IV you up. And then anything under 6, you could stroke out and die.
Why were you fighting with this
Mine
man?
was at 4. And I was like, nah, I'll be back in like 7 days. I got to go do these shows.
In a casket? How are you getting back?
Yeah, that's what he told me. He's like, you'll probably bleed out on the airplane. Cabin pressure will cause you to bleed, and you'll probably just die. And they'll have to land on the plane. You won't get to do shows anyways. And I'm like, I want to take that chance.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, so I know. So after a bunch of talking, a doctor and a nurse, who was a nurse / bodybuilder, I could only assume. He was gigantic. He was this big, like, he looked like a WWE wrestler, or I was just very delirious. But like, he just came in and he goes, you're checking out? And I was like, yeah, chasing your dreams, right? And he's like, you're an idiot. Like, I think they brought in the biggest nurse to scare me.
I think that's what they did. He probably wasn't even a nurse.
No, he just worked at the hospital lifting stuff, and they're like, throw some scrubs on him. Just send him in. We already got the IV in. All you have to do is change a bag. Just plug in.
He was probably the janitor.
Yeah. He came in, he yelled at me a bunch, and then after talking to the doctor, he decided to give me 4 bags of blood and 2 bags of iron, which is the equivalent of an entire human being.
Well, wait, he's going to let you go?
He's going to let me go.
And he's letting you pack your own blood?
No, I didn't pack it with me to bring with. Like, it was 11 p.m., I have a 9 a.m. flight. He's like, I think we can get the equivalent of a human being in blood and iron in you through IVs if I speed it up. Shouldn't be telling this on TV because this guy's going to lose his job.
Yeah.
Here's what else he did. Super cool thing. He did all this, and then he sent me home and wrote it in my chart that we will see how it goes, so my insurance would cover the surgery for me coming back. Because insurances don't cover you if you check yourself out and come back. They're like, no, we're done. You get 1 shot. So we did that. They gave me blood all night, and everybody is furious with me at this point. Everybody I called, no one's on my side. My mom hates me. Haven't told Louis yet. That's a whole different thing. He'll find out in a minute in the story.
Oh boy.
My family, my girlfriend, everybody is like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I just need someone to get me to the airport tomorrow morning and to pick me up from the hospital with my bag.
How did you talk anybody. Was Uber around? Is that how you got to
Uber
the
was
airport?
around, but I was like, if you want to see me one last time.
I'll need a ride to the airport?
Yeah. So the doctor also gave me a note to land the plane.
What?
Yeah, I had a note in my pocket that if something went on, that they would have to
Can
land
they
the plane.
do that?
They can do it. Doctors can do whatever they want. I mean, the pilot doesn't have to, but if he doesn't want a dead body on his plane, probably
Who
will.
was flying your plane? Sully?
He didn't know. I wasn't like, hey, Doc, I'm very sick. Because here's what else I did. Forgot about this part till right now. I went to the airport. I like leg room. I only have economy money. We're all comics. We're not very... Got there early, asked to sit in the exit row. The person who's supposed to assist people off the plane if an emergency happens, I couldn't lift my arms. But I sat in the exit row on the plane.
So not only are you putting yourself in jeopardy, you're putting
The entire plane.
The entire, all the passengers who would depend on your exit
Yeah,
in
light
jeopardy.
Yeah, if we crashed and most of us lived and they're like, oh, good thing there's that exit row, good thing those people can help us, I would have already passed out. I probably would have passed out with light turbulence.
Yeah.
So, long story short, I make it to San Diego. I get there. Louis gets there the next day. I got there a day early. Louis got there. He's like, hey, come to my room. Let's hang out. I'm like, all right, cool. He has no idea. He found out.
How did he find out?
Because Louis Anderson is my uncle. He's my great uncle.
He's your uncle.
Yeah, he's my grandma's brother.
Oh, okay.
And so my grandma called him and was like, Josh is very sick. And he's like, what do you mean? And then he's like, I don't want to get a cold. She's like, Josh doesn't have a cold. He's like, oh, good. Then told him what happened. I get there, and he's like, what the hell's going on? And I'm like, oh, I'm dying. He's like, why are you here? I'm like, yeah, chasing my dreams, right? You chase your dreams. And he's like, no, I would never have done this. Would never have done this. I would have just went to surgery. There's other shows.
I've met Louis before. I can't imagine him being angry.
He was not happy.
I don't think what's Louis Anderson like? Not happy.
He's like not mad. He's just disappointed. Like I don't think he has it in him to be like furious, but he's just like, just a lot of like, just a lot of looking down and head shaking. Like.
So what did he do? Did he kick you off the show?
No, he's just like, you're already here. Let's do it.
Let's put your life on the line. And
I already put the life on the line.
Yeah.
I should at least get to perform. I luckily had my two best friends live in Phoenix and Vegas, and they came out because it was kind of like a reunion. We all get to hang out. They stayed in my room.
Yeah.
So it turned into a trip where they were going to come out to stay in my room, and we were just going to drink and have fun, to they had to also take care of me. But because I don't care about my body, we still drank and had fun.
You were still drinking?
Yeah, you know the thing that thins your blood?
Yeah.
Doing a bunch of that. With all this blood donated from the Red Cross, probably.
You were just terrible at decisions.
Not good.
You're not,
Had great shows, though. Crushed every set. I've worked at the Las Vegas Laugh Factory multiple times because of that.
Because that's what's important here.
Kind of. If we're getting anything from the story, that's what I chose. That's the important part. So had great shows. Flew back home. Don't worry, I made a couple more bad decisions.
Oh, good. Because that's what.
Because I'm sick this whole trip. It's an old hotel. I have my friend helping me up the last few flights of stairs because stairs.
How is he helping you?
Like mainly carrying me.
What?
Like, you know, in a war movie, like if someone loses their legs, they like prop them up on their shoulders like this. Like a Weekend at Bernie's.
So basically, he's fireman carrying you up the stairs?
He's a cop, so more like cop carrying me up the stairs. Yeah.
You're ridiculous.
Yep.
I mean, it's bad enough you already look like a cartoon character.
Yep, that was ghostly white. So I get home, the plane lands, my mom's like, are you going straight to the hospital? I'm like, I'd like to stop at home and shower and take a nap. And she's
What is wrong with you?
everything. So I'm like, I'm going to take a nap. What I do, because they have to go into my intestines and things, I ate beforehand. You're not supposed to eat before because your intestines is where the food goes, and then to make it easier or doable, they're like, you shouldn't eat. So when I landed, I knew I was going to get surgery, and I was like, yeah, I should probably have a sub, though. Did that, went home, took a nap, told my mom I was going to take a nap, and I was going to wake up in 1 hour and go to the hospital. Didn't set an alarm. I told her I was going to tell my cousin to wake me up. Totally forgot to do that as well. He was doing laundry in the basement, so I didn't want to go down 3 flights of stairs.
Could you go down 3 flights of stairs?
At the time, no, but I could have texted him. This is the only part I'm going to take credit for. It's my bad. Should have told him to wake me up. Didn't. An hour and a half later, after my mom called me 4 times, didn't set my alarm, didn't have my ringer on, he got a call from my mom that said, hey, I think Josh is dead upstairs. And he went upstairs and yelled at me because he got yelled at by my mom.
So you went upstairs looking for a body?
Yep. Found me just like, yeah, I guess I'll go to the hospital now.
Oh my God.
He didn't have a face mask on, so he drove me there.
Oh, thank.
But didn't walk me inside, just dropped me off at the emergency room.
He just booted you out at
Yeah,
the door?
he was just like, see you later, bud. I'll come see you in the hospital. I packed a bag because I was told I was going to be there for a while.
Yeah.
It's just like video games and stuff. Got there. We've all been to the emergency room. I was like, hey, I'm Josh Florhaug. I'm here to get a surgery through the emergency room. They walked me right back. You know how if you get stabbed, you have to wait an hour?
Yeah.
Nope, got to walk right back to a room and got prepped for surgery that moment.
They're like, oh, we've been expecting you. You're on the list?
Well, I mean, they weren't expecting me. They assumed they were going to get a call from somewhere in San Diego saying I was dead. But the doctor came in. The big nurse came in. We were high-fiving. It was like we were long-lost friends, except for they were mad at me. And then
Instead of high fives, they were strapping you down to the bed.
Yeah, they were like,
saying you're not going anywhere.
They're like, you didn't eat, right? And I'm like, ooh, you're going to be mad about this. Had us up. So we went in, they did 3 surgeries. Through that, they found out that not only do I have bad iron, I have extra small red blood cells. My blood cells are about the 1/8 the size of yours. I'm allergic to alcohol, I found out. So my liver...
You're just a trash human being.
Yeah, my whole nothing
You're
works.
poorly constructed.
Nothing works in here.
Are you going to have children?
Probably not.
Okay, I think that's wise.
It's wise because...
Why would you want to do that to a child?
I mean, unless they have good medical insurance, which I don't know how they're going to get that. So, yeah, my liver's really beat up. I have 3 holes in my liver. And then I'm fine now.
Obviously, like you said at the beginning, spoiler, you lived.
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a lot of numbers thrown around with the plane ride when I was getting scared out of going, like 25% chance and things like that.
Yeah, I would have been like, hey, Louie, I can't make the show. I'm dying.
Easy way out.
Oh, you were just like, no, you grind till you get there.
Yeah, it was like, chase your dreams. This will be fun to tell later. And isn't it fun to tell? I mean, everybody listening to you, it's like, this is not fun to listen to.
No, you are not good at decision making. You have no respect for your own health.
Nope.
You have no respect of the people who love you.
Nope.
You're a terrible trash human being.
Not a great person.
I mean, I love you and all, but
Yeah.
you're terrible.
But just know that I'm probably not going to make good decisions.
No. You did make a good decision, though, coming on and being with us today.
Hey, you're a good friend, and it was fun to do. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Josh. Tell us about your biggest health scare. This I've got to hear. Can you top Josh? If you can top Josh, I think maybe Raccoon will do something for you. Maybe. T-shirt or something.
Top me. It's a bad decision.
All right. Thanks for tuning in to Raccoon TV, you guys. For more great content, keep tuning in to Raccoon TV or tune into my podcast, Jer D's Comics, you've never heard of that you should probably know. And we'll see you next time, guys.